everyone, and welcome. I'm Marcie
Stop using the
Besecker,
same
an
mascara
independent
you used in your
demonstrator
30s on
with Stampin' Up, and I'm from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me today. It is Monday, and it's 5:30. So this is my new time. Yes, I am still getting used to it also. So thank you for bearing with me on the time. Today I rebooted my computer because all my bookmarks disappeared, so I had to hurry up and fix my autofocus because it gets all crazy during videos. So I wanted to fix that for you. So that's what took just a second. So welcome. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Marva. Welcome. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Carol. Janice. Welcome. If you are new, please say hi. I want to make sure I see you and say hi. I just put an order in with Walmart, and how dumb was that right before my video? Because now they're messaging me, telling me that something is not available because they never have the milk I want. But that's okay. He got everything else, so he's on his way. Let's see. Ooh, -6 outside. Kathy, that sounds terrible. The snow finally stopped. Now the winds are coming. Very hard temperatures. Ooh. Hi, Stacy, Jackie, welcome. Hi, Paula. New to your channel. Well, Janice, welcome. So I'm trying something a little bit new that I wanted to share with you. So we'll see how this goes. I feel like I have a lot going on and a lot of announcements and classes and bingo and all that stuff. I am going to do an announcement page. So I may go into each thing a little more at the beginning of the month, and maybe once in the middle of the month or something. But what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to say January bingo is Tuesday. I have 2 kits left. So if you're interested, make sure you sign up. There are links for everything below in the description. So when you go to the description, just hit more. And then you can see all the links there and you can find all the details there. But please do ask if you have any questions about anything. And I will fill you in as much as I can, or we'll just pop the flyer up so you can see it. February's bingo is open for registration. So that is ready to go. And that will be February the 18th. It is on a Wednesday. And yes, last video you guys asked about if I was going to be live this Friday. I said yes. I couldn't think of why not. It's not a holiday. I'm not going anywhere. And then I remembered, oh, I'm on Wednesday night for bingo. Yes. Friday there will not be a video because I will be on Wednesday night for bingo. So thank you for that reminder, and I should have thought about that. The Cute as a Bug class, I think I have 3 kits left, maybe. So make sure you take a look at that. I did post it on my Facebook page, all of the images of the product. And if you look at my last video, you'll see that. And then basic foundations of card making. Let me just quickly explain that because that is new. So what it is Donna Gray and she's from Australia, and I'm going to be the one in the US. We are collaborating. She was collaborating with another US demonstrator. And it is about the basic foundations of card making. So we're going to talk about templates. She's already given hers because I just jumped on the train here. But we're going to be giving you templates that kind of show you measurements and things like that. So when I do a card, I might say, pull out your Highland Heather, which is another way to learn about colors too. And it's going to have the measurements on there. And it's going to be like, this is that size. Well, Donna's going to cut them in size for Australia. I will cut them in size for US. And then if anybody else outside of the US or Australia would like to participate, you can. What will happen is you'll get access to our Facebook page, which is our videos, and then our craft along, which is Zoom at the end of the month. And so you just will not get product in the mail from us, but you'll get the videos and our chatting and answering questions and teaching and all of that. So one month we might have watercoloring, another month we may have embossing, fancy folds. We're doing fancy folds this month. So there's going to be, different things going along. We each do 2 videos a month on that private Facebook page. At the end of the month, we do our Zoom craft along, and you come on Zoom too. We all craft and visit, and you guys can ask questions and all that good stuff. So it kind of works like that. And it's a little bit of a change in teaching, mainly because I'm doing kind of by colors, because measurements are different for both countries. However, we will be doing a video, and I will be sending you the paper to create your own templates, and so that way you can kind of know what we're working with and what we're doing. And basically the idea is to get you to look at a card and be able to recreate it, not having the measurements. So that's kind of one of the main things that we wanted to do to teach new people, new stampers, or maybe people that like, I like to watercolor, but I don't know how to watercolor, or I don't know all of the ins and outs. And we may not know all of the ins and outs, but we may be able to help. We've gotten by this far, so we're going to teach you what we do know. Okay, so, and there's a lot of other techniques and tips and tricks and things like that. So just so you know, that's kind of what that is about. It's a subscription. And if you click the link below, it'll give you more information, and you can always ask me if you have any questions. All right. Hi, Cynthia. Hello, hello. How are you? Hi, Steph. And okay, so I'm forgetting the name of Infante. That's your last name, I believe, but I can't remember your first name. I'm sorry, but good evening. All right. So other than that, I think that is the only announcements I have. Don't forget bonus days. The virtual retreat is awesome. Look into that. And I can't give out any information. However, if you are a demonstrator, please look at your announcements tomorrow. That's all I can say. That is it. Roxanne. Yes, thank you. I was going to say Roseanne, and I knew that wasn't right. Roxanne, thank you. Demonstrators, check your announcements tomorrow. Customers, stay tuned. Okay, that's all I can say. Sorry, that's it. All right, so let's get busy and create today. We're going to create, I absolutely love this project. I wanted to do a calendar of some kind. I had the calendars. I was like, what am I going to do? And this is what I came up with. Okay, I'm going to turn this other light off. It's great when the video starts after I find my slipper. But then it gets crazy and it's just too bright. So you can't see the projects good enough. So there it is. So it's going to be a cute little desk calendar. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Thank you, Marcie, for the beautiful 100 candle card for my mom's 100th birthday. She loved. Yay! Steph, I was going to ask you, I should have taken a picture with your mom with the card. So if you could, that would be amazing. Thanks, Marta. Because I forgot and I wanted to take a picture, but there's a lot of people there and I didn't want to, bother her. So if you could take a picture when she's wanting to take a picture. All right. So let's get busy. All right, so what we're going to do is how I did this card is with this Days Like This Memories. And I'm bringing this card in because if you remember, I did birthday cards like this and I showed it and I said this was a leftover piece and you're going to see where it came from. I'm going to start with a brand new one here so you can see my thought process. What I really like about this is I used... Well, first of all, let me tell you, you get 6 of each, okay? So we're going to use one of these, which is why this made a really nice bingo pack, because I was able to have a bunch of it on how we did it. Oh, Stacy. Yes. Make sure you see. Okay, then I used this one, okay? I'm not going to go through dimensions. That's, you're going to get it in the mail. Make sure you know, put it down and show your dimensions, but I will show you kind of how I cut it. I used that. All right, so these are the pieces that I use. So I'm going to set this aside. All right, these are the pieces that I used, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And I should have thought about this. So I'm going to bring out my my punch that I used. I believe it was this one, the timeless label. Okay, so that is for one thing that I did. I'm going to bring out this because I'm going to show you how I used all my bits and pieces, but I can't show you everything of what the end project was, but I can definitely show you this. Okay. All right. So what I did is I measured this in the back after I came up with my pattern on how I wanted this to work, because I didn't want to have to use 12 by 12 paper. So I'm going to show you, because I don't remember the measurements. Oh, well, I do have it right here written down. Let me grab it so I can kind of go along with this as I'm supposed to and do it right. So this is how I do my stuff. I just kind of write it all in a book. So here it is. All right. So hopefully I don't mess this up. Okay. So I did the card base and everything, and then I got into this one, and the back DSP, I believe, is, let's see. It's going to be the bottom portion of this, so I'm just going to kind of measure it real quick and make sure I do it right. Well, I'm not going to do it all completely. Let me show you what I did. We're going to cut, you would cut this and cut it down, so it's just going to be cut down a little bit here, and you're going to cut off the top. Well, then on the top, so let me bring this out so I can kind of show you all the scraps and pieces that I did. This label came from here, from the top, okay? So when you cut this and this off, and I cut a little of each so you still get those flowers, right? If you look, I kept more pink on this one and a little less over here, but I kept that butterfly. But it's totally up to you. I kind of decided going forward, I kind of could have done a little of both, but I decided to come in and use this and get I wanted the butterfly closer to the edge, so it's totally up to you. But this right here is the label, because I'm going to be using the beautiful butterflies, which are on last chance. I think they're still there. Make sure you grab them. But I use this label, and this is the butterfly that I use. These butterflies with the little bodies, and then this label here. Okay, so I took this label, which you can see is the back side, and that goes there. Okay, so that's where that came from. And then I used this. So that's all of that piece. Okay, now this piece is the one I cut for the front, and then I had this much left over, which went right here. Okay, so this is what went on this card. Is all I did is whatever size that was, I went 1/8 of an inch out and added my backing on it. Okay, so that's where that came from. Okay, then I brought in the yellow, and I decided to make that my back layer, which came from here. All right, then we've got this cute little butterfly right here, which you have, okay, which came from here. And so what I did with that is you're going to get this piece in your pack. And I'm just showing you this to show you how much you can really stretch all of this and not even use it for what it's intended. All right. So I'm going to bring my light over a little bit more. All right. So what I did is I went like this, and I went right past that butterfly, which I kind of could do it this way too, because I know I don't want it to go past that plastic, then I know that I'm good right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to get it close, because we're fussy cutting this part anyway, right? So this is what you're going to get in your kit. And then this one, what I did is I took a punch and I punched the sentiment out, and I moved it over so I could get some flowers on it. So it's upside down, but then I just kind of hold it down a little bit, make sure that looks okay, just to get a little bit. And then I punched it. Okay, so that can go on a different project. All right. Then what I did is I brought this in and I'm going to cut this. All right, get that out of the way. Then I brought in this one, which is, it's retired, but it's the double oval one. And I took it down to here on the bottom. And again, I put a little yellow on both sides and punched it. And now we have 2 sentiments, because now, of course, you can, you know, use this one for your color or glitter or glimmer, whatever you want to put on the back. And so that is that. So we've repurposed scraps from these, you know, this set. So that's kind of what we've got going. So that's where these all came in. And then again, you're still going to have a big chunk of your yellow here anyway, right? Leslie, this is the, this one here, the Days Like This, Memories and More pack. It is beautiful. I love it. So that is what I did with all those pieces. Again, sentiment, and then you've got all these pieces. So then when you're making like these cards, I could have added, you know, this with a background, like I would have used the Flirty Flamingo background, or I could have added glimmer with, you know, whatever, and added a little thank you or whatever on there. And it just kind of, it goes a long way. Okay, so think about that. Don't think about scraps. This is perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do very first is I'm just going to fussy cut my butterfly because I did not do that. So let me just get my little butterfly out of the way so we can put this together. I was so excited about this. I'm not a huge Memories and More person, but you know what's funny? Every time I use it, I absolutely love it. So then I buy it, and then I get busy, and then I don't do it. But you're going to see some because I bought a few because I really like this paper. I wish this was a whole paper pack because it is absolutely beautiful. And even the back sides are really cool. I mean, they could be used for scrapbooking for sure, but for card bases, stamp your sentiment right on that grid part, or make that a background, or even a back layer. How many times do you use a DSP and then there's a DSP in your package? You're like, not my favorite. Make that your back layer. The paper coordinates. It's going to match. Okay, there's our little butterfly. Let's not lose him, or the gems, or my other butterfly. So we're going to move all that up here. And my calendar. These are the Tailored Expressions. I really like those calendars. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment while I have it right here. And it is going to be, because I wanted something long and thin, and I kind of wanted something to go along with days or calendar or something like that. So good days ahead. I thought, ooh, that's a nice positive sentiment. So we're going to use that. Let's get our black. I just couldn't find the right calendar. Like in December, I wanted to do it. And I was like, I just didn't find one that I liked quite yet. All right. All right, there we go. Great days ahead. So we'll move that up there. Or good days ahead, I should say. All right, so let's put our stuff together. So you are going to adhere your panels onto your pull party. So we're going to do our yellow here onto the thin one. Oh, let me grab my, so much easier to see with our silicone mat. So today is my husband's first official day retired. I told you he can't sit still. Today he drained the hot tub because he wants to switch it from, oh, I'm sorry. I meant to tell you, Leslie, it is from Sunshine and Tulips. So send a garden of love. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. Hello, thinking of you. Good days ahead, and thanks for your thoughtfulness. A really cute set. So yeah, Sunshine and Tulips. The number is 166859. All right, so, anyway, yeah, so he drained the hot tub because he wants to go with bromine instead of chlorine. He goes in it every day, and his skin gets itchy or whatever from being in it too much. So he's going to change to bromine, which I had in a hot tub at an apartment, not an apartment, but a condo I lived in a long time ago. And anyway, so he's going to try that. All right, so here's our piece here. Now, remember, if you want to recreate this, those of you who are getting the kit, make sure you write down your measurements when you get it. I don't do PDFs for bingo, but you do get the kit in your hand, so just lay it out and write everything down. All right. Oh, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that very much. All right, so we're going to layer that up. Let's layer this one up. So yeah, when I first did this, all I could do was like the 12 by 12, and I didn't want to do that because I wanted it to be a color card base, and I didn't want it to be two-tone. That wasn't sturdy enough. And so I was like, man, I really don't want to go, with white. And so I had to kind of come up with my pattern. All right, I want to make sure this is right because I'm like, I did cut this down first, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, so all yours are cut down and everything. All right, we'll set that aside. So you're going to get 3 pieces. You're going to have this long 11 inch piece, which is where our full cardstock comes from. And then you're going to have these 2 pieces. All right, this one right here, let's take it, fold it back, and burnish it. All right, and then let's go ahead and add our butterfly layer on it. Make sure your butterflies are going the right way. All right, so let's go ahead and add our adhesive on there. All right, I usually always do an 1/8, so I know this is an 1/8. I'm going to do it at the bottom because I know if I do the bottom and the sides right, the top will be correct. There we go. All right, and then this is going to fold over the top, so we can set that aside. Now, this one right here, you have 1 fold here, and you've got your 2 here. So this is going to come like this. So this is going to be the part that sits up in the front, okay? So it's going to look like this. Okay, so what you want is you want this part to fold like that, like this, and then this part's going to come in like that, okay? So it's going to look like that. All right, so let's just burnish that. Make sure it's nice and straight, should be. Okay, and you don't have to do it a bunch of times, just enough to like hold it there. All right, so I like to glue before I put everything together. So what we're going to do is hold it together like this. This is the front. This is where your yellow is going to go, okay? So get this piece here, and your yellow is going to go right there. So let's go ahead and put that right there. You know, it's funny when you try to do like your 3D things and then you end up having like 2 and 3 sheets of your color of whatever you're trying to fold all over your desk, and they're all different sizes, and you're like, wait, I had that size a minute ago. Just trying to get it all to go right. All right, there we go. That goes like that. All right, now this piece is going to go here. Okay. So this is the fold, and then this is the back. This piece is going to go right here. Remember, it's not a card. You don't have to put a layer back there. Unless you're giving it as a gift, then of course you can. All right, but for now, this is just going to be a calendar. Okay, 2 movies that I saw. I like to tell you guys what movies I saw. Sometimes I watch stuff and I'm like, nope. My husband pulled me in the other day. Oh, I heard about this show. You got to come watch it. I watched maybe the first 10 minutes and I said, nope, I'm out. It was dumb. It was that one of those Knives Out, whodunit kind of things, but anything that is dumb, I didn't like it. A lot of people do like that kind of. To me, it reminds me of like Airplane. Although classic movie, dumb. Anyway, for me. Now you have this, so you can tell I scored it, you know, one and the other. So I like to do my scores like this. All right, so one way, one the other, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. And what we're going to do, and you don't really have to burnish that. You can if you want. We're going to put this one like this, attach it, and then this one is going to go on the, well, okay, let's do one at a time. It'll be easier. All right, and I like to use glue at this point because this is kind of like the moving mechanism, and I always like to use glue. So, all right, let's put this back. This is going to go like this. So you're going to want it like this. I take that back, like this, because you want it to be like clean, right? In the front. So this is going to go like that. And then this is going to go like that. So let me show you. Hold this up like this. Oh, I'm remembering now. Hold on. All right, so this is like this. You're going to have this go over like this. And it's going to fold. Okay, so you're going to put glue here. That's what it is. Put glue there. This is the back. All right. And once it's down, you want to make sure it's nice and even. All right. Then, remember, this is your flap. This is your foot. So you want it to go to this right here. And then you're going to glue it there. So let's just do that. All right. So you're going to glue the inside fold right here. I made this back in, gosh, as soon as we were able to pre-order. So sometimes I'm a little forgetful. All right, we're going to slide this in here. And you want it to be flush on the sides, okay? So make sure everything is flush. Pull it down so that this seam goes right up against this, okay? Pull it down there, and then I'm going to just make sure that that stays. I got a little bit of glue right here and a little bit right here. So I'm going to make sure I get all that off. There we go. All right. Now we're going to fold this down. And remember, you don't want it on your flap right here. You want it on your fold. And we're going to glue it like that. Okay. And then when it stands up, this is going to hold on to here. And then that's where your little stand comes from. Okay. Now, I like to fold it and then glue it. That way you know it's going to fold down if you need to. Because this is going to go on right here. Like that. Okay. If you fold it and if the measurement is not exact, and you glue it to the edge, it might be a little hard to fold, to close. Although it doesn't have to once you make it, but if you're going to mail it, keep that in mind. All right, so I like to do it like this. And I like to just add a decent amount. Okay. And then I'm going to hold that like that and fold it. Remember, not your flap. Your flap is still, this is still free right here. All right, so we'll hold that, let that glue. All right, and now we're going to take this and glue it on the back, and then we'll glue it on the front. So what I like to do is just kind of line it where you want it. I have these little clips that I like to use. I don't use them all the time, but they're little sewing clips. So I'll kind of eyeball it, or you can measure it if you want. So if you lay this down to measure it, it's about 3/4 of an inch in on both sides. Okay. So what I'm going to do is turn this, and I'm going to pick it up right here and know that the glue needs to go farther down than where my fingers picked it up. And the glue is going to hold really well, so it doesn't have to go all the way up to your fingers. But I like to do it about like that. So I'm going to come back over here and go back in 3/4 on both sides and put that down right to the edge. Okay. If you glue the back and then the front's off, then you're going to kind of be up a creek. But if you do it on the front first, look at make sure that's flat and measure it, which is about 3/4, and then just hold it there for a minute. And then I'll always like to look and make sure that you don't have any glue in the back, okay? All right, so just hold that down. And now we're going to turn it over and go there. So I'm just going to do a little nail mark is what I do. I just do like a little mark so I can see my marks. And oops. And I know that my glue can go right in here. And I like glue when I do any type of 3D or movable items. And this is going to be on a desk. It's going to be moved around. It might be put in the mail. You're sending it to a friend. All right, so just kind of make sure that's on there. And then I like to look just to make sure that there's no glue right there, and we're good. All right, so there is our calendar. So now it stands. Okay, so there's our calendar. So now we need to decorate it. Okay, so let's do our sentiment first. And for this, I'm going to do a lot of dimensionals. Again, it's an item that's going to be out and used and loved and flipping pages. And I'll show you one thing I did do that we'll probably need to change a little bit. So we'll do that, which is not a big deal. I should have thought about it. Okay, I think I want to put a little one right there. I should have positioned it a little bit better. But I just want to make sure that it doesn't sink in or anything. All right, we're going to put this close to the bottom. You know what? Let's add that after we do the calendar, because you don't want to put the calendar on and then be too low or whatever and then have issues. Just make sure you put it up high enough to where you will have space for that. If you feel more comfortable adding the sentiment first, then do that. I just went down like maybe 1/4 of an inch of the DSP. And this is cardboard on the back. So I did liquid. Actually, this is what I did. I did the outsides in seal because it is kind of slanted and I'm still working on it. And because this is kind of slick cardboard, it's kind of a, it's a little bit of a, not protected, but it's got, you know, like a sheen kind of to it. So, and then I'm just going to add this right here. And that way it's kind of gooey in the middle and you can get it pretty good and it'll stay. All right, so I'm going to bring this in. Now remember, this pops up and moves, so you're going to have to hold it for just a bit. I'm going to go right about there. I eyeball it. I'm not, you know, I can move it over a little bit. Remember, I haven't pushed it down yet, but see, I can move it a little bit because I haven't pushed it yet. So I've got my, move it a little more. And now if you needed to, you could bring your ruler out, but I'm thinking that's good right there. So now I'm definitely going to push where my seal was to hold that down and then just kind of rub that in. And you can also stick your fingers back there and kind of just make sure that that is on well. Okay. Now, we're going to now add our sentiment. So I'm just going to do it like this and pull it and probably put my head in the way, but I want to make sure that I have enough space and just kind of put it on. I don't necessarily need it in the middle of this, but you definitely want to give yourself some room because you're also going to, oh, I got to hold it up, make sure it's straight. You're also going to put your little butterfly on there. So you want to make sure you have some room to put your little butterfly. All right, so there we go. Oh, I think that needs to go up just a tiny bit more. Okay, there we go. Now our butterfly we're going to bring in and just kind of put it there so you can glue it, which I'm going to do, but I'm also not going to put a dimensional on your butterfly. I'm going to put it on here because if you put that on here, your butterfly, and you put it over here, it might be off too far. So just think about it. And I'm going to put a mini, like really close right there. Okay, so it's on your butterfly paper here and not hanging off. Even though this is solid and this is nothing lifts or anything right there, I just want it to kind of look like it's flying. And so I want that wing to kind of be free, right? That's kind of hanging right there, but it's, I guess it's up to you where you're going to put it and what you think. I'm going to add, oh, I don't think I needed glue on the little antennae because it's going to hang off. But you see, I put a little bit of glue on the body part only right here. And I'm going to bring her in like this. And then I'm going to push down on that dimensional. And I guess I could have left the glue on there, but that's okay. I'm sure there's still a little bit there. All right. So there's that. And now we're going to bring these butterflies in. That's my son. He's bringing us food, our doorbell. They made chili and they're like, hey, we made chili. Do you want us to bring you dinner? Okay, yeah. All right, so, and then what I like to do is just kind of, this is a fantastic butterfly set. I hope you guys grabbed it. I hope it's still available. All right, so then I kind of just poke that in. So there's that. Now we're going to add our little bodies here. So of course I need my silicone mat. All right, so when you put your body on your butterfly, if you look right here, the tail is going to be hanging off and so is the head. Okay, so you really just want to put your glue on the body, but not all the way to the bottom. So right here, okay. And then I set it down and let it sit for just a bit. You want the head above, not on the wings, okay? So the head's got to stick up. But then you got to make sure your little body's straight. So this little guy needs to move over a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now, you should have seen how many of these I was cutting out and doing. And then I did, remember I did the butterflies on that other little card with that extra piece too. Look how cute that is. And remember those little butterflies that we had, those little embellishments? That would be really cute to add. All right, we're going to do this one. Now, the thing I said I was going to change something is when I added my butterflies, Marcie did not think about, I did think about pulling the calendar off, but if you have to flip your calendar just to see like what day is the 14th on? Okay, Valentine's is next month. What day is it on? And you need to flip your calendar, then you're flipping that a lot and you don't want your butterflies to fall off. And I put them a little too close. Okay, come on. Get back in here. All right, now she's making a mess. Okay, get your head up there. Wipe your glue off. Okay. Make sure your body's straight. There we go. Head up. All right, so once they're dry, you can kind of, move them around and manipulate them a little bit. All right, we'll leave those there. Marilyn, coming on late. You won't believe this is a project I was working on earlier today. I like your design better than what I was working. Oh, how funny. I know it's like the beginning of the year and you gotta have a calendar, right? Oh, thank you, Stacy. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna bring this in. We're gonna move this out of the way. We're going to take our, now if you're going to give it to somebody, I would just leave that on there. They may want to, get a calendar next year and replace it on their same holder or whatever. But we're going to tear it off because it just looks better. And now we are going to turn over our butterflies and we're going to add our dimensions on there. So we want our little minis. Okay. And we're going to put one right on the body right here. And one right here. And then I'm going to bring in these and put on a half of one. Because we've got to make sure we've got some good adhesive. Let's see, this is a small thin one. Okay. And now I want to put something behind the head also because it is going to be, it is going to be hanging off a little. Oh, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is go in like this and just take a little piece of one of these dimensionals. So I have a new program. You guys know that, my registering and everything is a little bit different. I'm hoping it cuts off when it sells out because a lot of people are joining something right now and it might be bingo. And I'm hoping it doesn't oversell it because I already made the kits. They're ready to go. Wednesday night is bingo. They will ship out on Thursday. And it's supposed to only sell so many. So I'm hoping that that was the case. Otherwise, I'm going to be sad. Because some of the product I know for sure I ran out. Let's see. My other program was able to cut it off at a certain time. But it's also if anybody had trouble paying and then they paid but they didn't go through the program, it kind of messes those numbers up too. And so I try not to do that, but sometimes, All right. So see how I had it kind of over it? And I like it that way because you could still flip this up and then you could still, put it back under. But that's kind of a pain if you're looking. So you could go out, this way on the very edge, but it's still going to be like that. So, you might think about it. You might want to put them out here because, if you're putting it up, but if you're mailing it, it could be a little different. So I liked them both up higher, so I'm still going to do it this way, but I'm going to move it to the edge right here. Well, it's going to be down here. If it's up here, it's going to be harder to do that. If it's down a ways, it's going to be easier so to flip it. So that's what I'm doing. If you feel that you need to, you know, put it on the very edge and have it going outward, or, you know, whatever works for you. I like it like this just because that's how I liked it. But I wouldn't mind one down here, though. That would be cute, too. Like right here. Maybe coming inward. Let's do this little guy coming inward. Oh, now I'm thinking I shouldn't have done the two butterflies on one side like that. Oh, no, that's okay. I like that. But now our gems are going to change a little bit. So I did our gems to have one on the edge right here, but now I'm not going to do that, I don't think. I'm going to put one where I originally had it. And I think I'm going to have one here. And this one was right here, which actually still could go there. Because these little guys are supposed to be. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I like that. Because I really don't want to put it over here. So I think I'll put it right there still. Hey. So there we go. You know what? I actually like that better up here. All right, let's see. Let's see if he's really smushed on here. Yay. All right, let's move this one. This one can still go right here. And then this little guy is going to come over. I'm going to have him towards the outside. So he's a little, yeah, I like that better. It just seems like it flows a little bit better. So isn't that cute? So I had so much fun creating this, and I loved that you have this piece left over. Look at, I even used the same yellow that was down here for right here. And so it just, and then, you know, this sentiment piece from this one. What else did I do? This came from the other piece that had the extra sentiments. So it was this piece of paper. Okay, so I cut that out, and then I cut this out. So we've got two sentiment pieces that we could use. This could even be a sentiment piece. And you could put a sentiment right there on a card or something, you know. I would layer it up and make this a little smaller, but you know what I mean. So anyway, there's lots of things that you could do with this set, and I plan on doing more because I absolutely love it. So hopefully you go on and you get this beautiful butterflies if you don't have it. It is so, so cute. Let me see. What did I put on this one? I think this one was So Thankful for You. And the last one I did a video on, I think I did Happy Birthday, which was right here. And then I put Time to Celebrate on the inside. But I still did the butterfly like that on the inside. So, so much fun. Such a great pack. And I can't wait to play with it more because I have some more ideas. And I might have bought a few. So you might see it again in a bingo or something. So anyway, yay. It's so cheery and beautiful. Thanks, Marilyn. That was kind of my thought was, wouldn't you like to see that on your desk every day? I mean, that is just super cheery and fun. And I mean, if you really wanted to, you could glimmer that out and add more glimmer on there or, you know, whatever. And I know this piece back here is kind of hiding. You don't see it as much, but you do. When it's sitting down, you can see all that pretty on there. So, and the paper just matches perfectly, and it's just really, really pretty. So I hope that you give it a try. And if you're playing bingo, let me know if you have any issues with it. I just signed on. Where's the paper? Oh, the paper is this one here. It's the Memories and More. It's called Days Like This. It is number 166911. And it's the one with all the butterflies. Let's see. There's butterflies. there's the piece we use in the back, and then there's the yellow, which is the other side of this. And so that's the back side. The other side, or the front side, the other side is green, and it says filled with happiness. And then this one is, it has like butterflies and lines. So really good for scrapbooking, but definitely you could do it for card making too. And then the other one, this one, the grid is nice, but I mean, hello. There's grid on that side, but then there's this beautiful paper there. And so you get 6 of each. So you could make 6 calendars with this and have plenty of the smaller pieces left over. So let me just show you those really quickly so you can see what the smaller ones are. All right, so again, 6 of each. You get this with the green on the back with the daisies. Okay, so did you get that? That is one. You get this grid again with the like gradient coloring. Oops, there it is. I knew there was 2. And then you get like a fun piece. That's those. You get these with yellow, little like hash mark kind of thing on there with these. I can't show you this one, but I've got something going on with that. All right, lots of laughter. Again, use a sentiment, cut that out, use this for another sentiment or a backing to a sentiment. I mean, you could use this as the backing, you know, have another sentiment on there, or the yellow behind the little oval one, whichever. So you've got those. You've got this little note with, again, those butterflies that match the larger one. Those. And then you've got these with little like distress kind of butterfly marks on it. And then days like this. So again, a nice journaling one. So really, really cute. Lots of great stuff to do. Different projects. Either a journal or scrapbooking or cards. I like it all. So beautiful, beautiful set. So, and I bought a big pouch that I put like all my pieces in so that I can go back and go through and pull out what I want to use. So you are so welcome, Stacy. Let's see, I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Did you see my tea go everywhere? Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I will actually see you Wednesday this week for bingo at 5 o'clock. Bingo is always at 5 o'clock. And then Friday, I will not be here. And then Monday, I will be doing project number 2 for the bingo class. And that is a super fun 3D project. And those of you that saw my last video or are taking the class, you'll know that you already saw what I'm going to be creating. So I'm excited about that. That one was also a really fun one. So be prepared for that. If you haven't played bingo before, I believe this month is sold out, but you can join February bingo. And come join us on Wednesday and watch and see what it's about and what it's like. And hopefully we'll see you in a future bingo. And I'm going to leave you with what's going on. And I will see you guys Wednesday night. Bye, everybody.